Thinking about buying a home? Most people focus on the purchase price, but did you know that there are tons of hidden costs that can add thousands of dollars to your budget each year? Many homeowners are caught off guard by taxes and maintenance and unexpected repairs. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the true costs of owning a home so you can plan ahead, avoid surprises, and enjoy your investment stress-free. Stick around because this video could save you thousands. What's up, everyone? My name is Jack Bouvier with the Bouvier Real Estate Group here at eXp Realty. I help thousands of buyers, sellers, investors just like you every single day move into the new home, sell their home for top dollar, and invest in this booming market here in Saskatoon. If you need help of any kind with your real estate goals, feel free to reach out to me. All my contact details are below. I'd be happy to connect with you, as well as all my links to my free resources, to my website, to look at homes, off-market deals, know what your true value of your home is. Be happy to connect with you. Why do you need to understand home ownership costs? There's lots of costs that are associated beyond the mortgage. People think that that's the only cost that they're going to have to pay when they buy a house, but that's just not necessarily true. And you don't want to regret your home purchase decision by being unprepared for all of the ongoing costs that lead to financial stress and ultimate regret. Owning a home is a dream come true for many, but being unprepared financially can turn a dream into a nightmare. What are these hidden costs that are involved with home ownership? Well, one is your property taxes. These are annual taxes that can be paid either annually or monthly, and it's based off your home's assessed value. The city has what's called a fair value or assessed value for the property in that specific area and location, etc., that ultimately determines the taxes that you're going to be paying on that property. This typically ranges in between 0.5% all the way sometimes to 2.5%, again, depending on the area and the upgrades of that neighborhood, etc. So for a $400,000 house, you could be looking at paying taxes in the range of $2,000 all the way to $10,000 per year. Another cost is insurance, which you're going to need home insurance for your property, which can be provided by any insurance provider. Talk to your financial advisor. They have insurance connections or an insurance brokerage that will be able to give you a good rate. I often find TD Bank actually has really good rates, but it depends if it's an investment property or if it's your primary residence, etc. This insurance covers against all of the damages and potential liability risks that come along with owning your house. This cost can vary anywhere from $800 to $2,000, and if it's a larger multifamily building, it could be upwards of $5,000 a year. Another cost that you're going to want to consider are the utilities. This would include your electricity, your gas, your water, garbage removal. Sometimes if you purchase a condo, you'll have condo fees associated with owning that property, and sometimes those condo fees include some utilities, additional maintenance, additional snow removal, and lawn care, etc. But if it's a detached house and it's not a part of a condo association, then you're not going to have any condo fees, but you will have to pay for utilities such as your gas, electricity, and water, which could vary anywhere in between $200 and $500 depending on how often you like to have hot baths. Another cost is your maintenance and repairs. So this includes just general maintenance like lawn care, filling up your lawnmower with gas and cutting the grass, putting on grass seed, removing the weeds, cutting down the trees, servicing your furnace and your air conditioning unit. There's also lots of unexpected costs that come sometimes when you have a roof leak, or you have your water line break, or you have a light just explode and you need to get some new light bulbs. There's always going to be maintenance costs that go along with owning a house. So make sure you save approximately 1 to 3% of your home's value for the full year. So for example, for a $400,000 house, you'd be wanting to save approximately $4,000 to $12,000 a year. Now, those were all the additional ongoing costs that go along with owning your house. Now, there's also those one-time costs that you don't potentially always think about when purchasing a house that you'll also have to consider, such as your moving costs. So when you move into a house, you're going to need a way to move that big grand piano or big couch or big bed. If you have family members and young brothers, then great. Feel free to reach out to them, maybe buy them lunch or use them as family labor and get them to move. But if not, and your family's not close by or don't have friends to help you, then you're going to probably have to pay for a moving company, which could cost anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 depending on how much stuff you have to move. Next, obviously, you're moving into a house with potentially some missing items that you don't have. And so if you need to buy a new fridge or a new stove or a dining table or whatever to fit the specific space, space, just make sure you're prepared for that, because not always do you have everything that you need to move into your new house. You might need some new tea towels or some bathroom racks or some new light bulbs or something to just make sure your home is all ready to move in and it feels like home. So I'd say factor in approximately $5,000 to $20,000 just for those upgrades that you're going to need to do on the home when you move in. And lastly, this leads me to my final point, are any renovations. So if you are going to be renovating and painting the walls or upgrading your doors or new cabinets or appliances or whatever, you're going to want to make sure you factor that in, because it's preferably better if you do that before you move in, so it's all ready to go when you move in, rather than moving in and having to work around the renovations. But if you need any contractor recommendations, feel free to reach out to me. Again, contact details are below. I'd be happy to share with you my free resources. On my website, I actually have all my professional references that I'd be happy to share with you as well. So if you need any good contacts of any sorts, feel free to reach out. But you're going to be wanting to roughly save about $10,000 to $50,000 in renovation costs if you're planning to do any on your house. So you're going to want to make sure that you're well prepared and you have a budget for when you purchase a house. Make sure when you're going through this budget, you factor in all the expenses like your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, your utilities, your maintenance, and use a spreadsheet or whatever that you have so you can tally up those costs and you know what it's going to be on a month-to-month basis. And the next part is to make sure you have an emergency fund. So depending on if you're planning on doing any renovations, you have a moving plan ahead of you, I'd recommend saving up at least 3 to 6 months of unexpected expenses to cover any potential repairs or financial challenges that you might go through when owning your house. I would also advise you to prioritize any preventative maintenance. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that you're regularly servicing your furnace, your plumbing, making sure it's in good working order, your roof isn't full of ice dams and your shingles aren't peeling off. So that way you don't have any big repairs that you have to do if water leaks in or your furnace all of a sudden busts and you have to replace those. So make sure you schedule in those seasonal checkups. Another thing is to compare costs. So if you are going to be getting a moving truck to come in, compare one moving truck to the other moving truck. Or if you're planning on getting some insurance for your home, compare one insurance provider to the other. Everyone has their own offers that they can provide to you. So make sure that you're reviewing all your options and making sure you're picking the best one for you. Another thing is preparing for any long-term costs. Yes, you think that just being able to save up for those monthly costs might be good enough for you and having a little bit of a reserve fund, but it's always recommended to plan for any capital expenditures, they call it, or long-term costs, which could be, again, replacing your roof 5-10 years down the road, or replacing that furnace 5-10 years down the road, which could be those big ticket items like $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 to do. Some common mistakes when people go about this process is they just underestimate the maintenance costs, because many first-time buyers, they're just surprised on how quickly small repairs add up time after time again. Another thing is people don't shop around for the best prices, and specifically insurance. Don't settle on the first quote that you get and just thinking that's the price it is. Compare other options and try to save money when you can. Another big mistake is people avoid energy efficiency. This means upgrading to more energy efficient mechanical, such as your furnace and your water heater, so your utility bills are a lot less. Even sometimes adding in an HRV, which is a heat recovery ventilator, which allows your furnace to operate again more efficiently, or sometimes even replacing your windows to triple pane windows that again can hold in that heat better, so your utility bills are a lot less and can save you money in the long term. And the last big common mistake is people just don't prepare for those emergencies. They get a big juicy bonus and then they go on a trip, which is again fine, but just making sure that you are cognizant of potential big upgrades that you might have to spend on your house in the future, like the windows, the roof, and any major repairs. Owning a home is quite honestly one of the most rewarding investments that you can make for you and your family, but understanding these costs is essential to enjoying it without financial stress. By planning for ongoing expenses and budgeting effectively and preparing for the unexpected, you're going to be well on your way to successful homeownership. So if you're ready to buy a home or need guidance on the process and or budgeting at all, I'm here to help. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. All my contact details are below. I'd be happy to connect with you, and all my free resources, such as all my professional references or ability to look at all the properties that are currently for sale, or a mortgage calculator so you you know how much those are going to cost you, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you with achieving your real estate goals.